There is a boy, small for his age, sick, far from home, injecting himself every night just to grow tall enough to play the sport he loves. Nobody believed he would make it. He became the greatest footballer who ever lived. This is the complete story of Lionel Messi. June 24, 1987. Rosario, Argentina. A working-class city on the banks of the Paraná River, passionate, proud, and obsessed with football. Lionel Andres Messi was born to Jorge Messi, a factory worker, and Cecilia Cuxatini, a part-time cleaner. Nothing about his background suggested greatness was coming. No wealth, no connections. Just a small boy who fell in love with a football before he could even read. He started playing at the age of 5 at a local club called Grandoli. His grandmother Celia, the woman he would later dedicate every goal to with a finger pointed to the sky, was his biggest fan and the one who first pushed him to play. Later he moved to Newell's Old Boys, where he joined the youth system at the age of 8. Even then, coaches knew he was different. He was tiny, always the smallest on the pitch. But when the ball was at his feet, something happened that nobody could explain. NPR. He was simply untouchable. But at age 10 everything changed. Messi was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency, a condition that meant his body wasn't producing enough hormones needed for proper growth. Without treatment, he would never grow tall enough to compete as a professional footballer. The treatment cost approximately €12,000 per year, an impossible amount for a working-class family in Argentina. Every night, the young Messi had to inject himself with growth hormone. Painful, relentless, humiliating for a child who just wanted to play football. Argentina's biggest club, River Plate, noticed his talent, but they refused to pay for his treatment. The dream looked finished. And then, a phone call from Spain. FC Barcelona's director Carles Rexach was so convinced by what he saw that he famously drafted a contract on a paper napkin at a restaurant on December 14, 2000. Promising to sign Messi and pay for all of his expensive hormone treatment. A napkin. The greatest career in football history was sealed on a napkin. The Messi family made the agonizing decision to leave everything behind and move to Barcelona. Lionel was 13 years old. He left his friends, his grandmother, his city. And he never looked back. La Masia. Barcelona's legendary youth academy. The place where football legends are made. In his first year, Messi was so quiet and introverted that many of his teammates thought he was mute. His mother had returned to Argentina with his brothers and sister, leaving him alone in Barcelona with just his father. Homesick, lonely, and still giving himself injections every single night. But on the pitch, he was another person entirely. His unique dribbling, vision, and balance made him stand out even among the best young players in Spain. Coaches passed through La Masia and came out shaking their heads, not in disbelief that he was good, but in disbelief that a human being could move a football like that. After completing his growth hormone treatment at age 14, the transfer conflict with his old club Newell's Old Boys was resolved, and Messi became a full member of what coaches called the Baby Dream team. Then came October 16, 2004. Messi made his first team debut for FC Barcelona, aged just 17. The world had no idea what was about to happen. What followed over the next 17 years at Barcelona is simply the greatest individual club career in the history of football. Full stop. 10 La Liga titles. 7 Copa del Rey trophies. 4 UEFA Champions League titles. A record-breaking 8 Ballon d'Or awards as the world's best player. Season after season, Messi didn't just break records. He made records look irrelevant. In the 2011-12 season alone, he scored 73 goals in all competitions, obliterating Gerd Muller's 39-year-old record for goals in a single season. And then there was the rivalry that defined an entire era of football. Cristiano Ronaldo. Real Madrid versus Barcelona. 2 players so extraordinary, so relentless, so obsessed with being the best, that they pushed each other to heights no footballer had ever reached before. For a decade, every Ballon d'Or was a 2-horse race. Every El Clasico was a personal duel. The football world split into 2 camps, and the debate still rages today. But for all the domestic glory, for all the trophies, for all the individual awards, one thing was missing: the World Cup. And for years that absence haunted him. Critics used it as a weapon. Argentina reached the 2014 World Cup final, and lost to Germany. They lost Copa America finals in 2015 and 2016. After the 2016 final defeat, a heartbroken Messi announced his international retirement. He came back, because Argentina needed him. Because he needed them. And the story wasn't finished yet. December 18, 2022. Lusail Stadium, Qatar. The World Cup final. Argentina versus France. Messi versus Mbappe. The old king versus the young pretender. Over 88,000 people inside the stadium. Billions watching around the world. Argentina led 2-0 with 10 minutes remaining. The trophy was theirs. And then, Mbappe. 2 goals in 90 seconds. 2-2, extra time. Messi scored again to make it 3-2. Then Mbappe completed the most dramatic hat-trick in World Cup final history to force penalties. 3-3. The whole world held its breath. Messi stepped up first in the shootout. He had carried this nation for 20 years. Every disappointment, every near miss, every cruel defeat, all of it came down to this moment. He scored. Of course he scored. And when goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez saved the decisive penalty, the stadium erupted. Argentina were world champions. 36 years of hurt, gone in an instant. Messi fell to his knees on the pitch, tears streaming down his face. His teammates buried him under a pile of bodies. And somewhere in Rosario, in the streets where a small sick boy had once kicked a ball dreaming of exactly this moment, an entire city screamed into the night sky. The little boy who had injected himself every night just to grow tall enough to play the sport he loved, was a world champion. This was everything. In the summer of 2023, the football world was stunned. Lionel Messi, fresh off winning the World Cup, did not choose Real Madrid, did not choose a return to Barcelona, did not choose the riches of Saudi Arabia. He chose Miami, Inter Miami, a club that had never won anything, a city more famous for beaches than football. It seemed impossible. But Messi had always done the impossible. In the 2025 MLS season alone, he scored 23 goals and added 16 assists, helping Inter Miami win their first ever MLS Cup title. He turned a struggling franchise into the most talked about club in America overnight. Now in 2026 he is 38 years old, closing in on 900 career goals, and still performing at a level that defies everything we know about age and sport. The boy who was told he would never grow tall enough to play professional football is still, at 38, one of the best players on the planet. But there is one final chapter left to write. June 2026. The FIFA World Cup. North America. Argentina have confirmed their 26-man squad, and Lionel Messi will lead the reigning champions once again. At 38 years old. In what will almost certainly be his final World Cup. The defending champions. Led by the greatest player who ever lived. On a stage that gave him his greatest moment just 4 years ago. Can he do it again? Can a 38-year-old man carry a nation on his shoulders one final time and etch his name into football history forever? This is Messi targeting a second World Cup title, and a fourth for Argentina overall, in what could be his final tournament. From a sick boy in Rosario with a napkin contract and a dream, to the greatest footballer who ever lived, chasing immortality one last time. The story of Lionel Messi is almost complete. Almost. Subscribe to 90 Minutes Plus, because we will be here for every single moment of it.